F1 News: Red Bull secrets leaked to rivals ahead of 2019 season. Ricciardo made the surprise move from Red Bull to Renault at the end of last season. The Australian wants to challenge for the F1 Drivers' Championship and believes his new outfit will develop into a leading side over the coming years. Teammate Hulkenberg, who finished 7th in the standings in 2018, is hoping the extra knowledge hands his side the advantage. Ricciardo's going to bring a breath of fresh air, and he'll certainly have some important information coming from Red Bull, the German told the Moose. Some things like how to adjust the car, for example. I think it will be interesting for us. We drivers are not technicians and certainly not aerodynamicists, so he cannot say we must do like this or that. Unfortunately, it does not work that way. But he could help us by explaining what Red Bull did when setting up the car or what systems they have on their car. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen issued a parting shot to his old ally ahead of the new campaign. Personally, I won't miss him, but he was fun and pleasant to have as a teammate, Verstappen told Dutch newspaper Algemeen Dagblad. That doesn't happen often and perhaps it won't happen again. But will I miss him? I believe Daniel will miss what he had here. Verstappen also spoke about how glad he is that Red Bull have ditched their Renault engines in favor of Honda from this year. Honda's whole attitude and the plans they have, it's totally different compared to what we were used to with Renault, he added. With Renault we always had to push. It always had to come from us and it was usually ignored. Now it is the other way around and we are pushed to supply parts. They need gearboxes and things like that from us, which are really not that easy to make. But Honda just wants to test, test, test. They do more kilometers than I do on the circuit. Next news: Martin Brundle's last F1 car is up for auction. Anyone looking for a belated Christmas gift might want to consider the 1996 Jordan 196 that Sky F1 pundit Martin Brundle drove in his swansong F1 year. The striking gold liveried 196, powered by a V10 Peugeot engine, will be going under the hammer at an upcoming RM Sotheby's Paris auction next month. The car is perhaps better known for Martin's disastrous barrel-rolling wreck at the start of the season-opening Australian Grand Prix than the outright results it achieved in 1996. Chassis and Degrees 03 is actually the car Brundle hopped into when he got back to the pits after his momentous Melbourne crash. Our favorite F1 commentator would enjoy 6th place finishes with 03 at the Nürburgring, in Montreal and at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone before retiring from F1 at the end of the year. According to RM Sotheby's, the car is expected to fetch at least negation 170,000 negation 190,000. Any potential takers out there? Next news: Bottas, Kubica will help put Williams back to where they were. Valtteri Bottas believes the returning Robert Kubica will help Williams get back to where they deserve to be following a dreadful 2018 season. The British side finished 10th in the Constructors' Championship last year, with just 7 points recorded by their two drivers Lance Stroll, 6, and Sergei Sirotkin, 1. Bottas drove for Williams in 2013-16 before replacing Nico Rosberg at Mercedes, and the team haven't been the same since his departure. But next season brings more hope for Williams with a brand new driver lineup, with Kubica being partnered by Mercedes youngster George Russell. For Robert, it will be nice to see how it goes, Bottas said to Crash.net. He's been out of racing for a while, 8 years. So it will be nice to see how he compares to George Russell. I think for the team, that has had a tough team, And I know how difficult it is to keep up the motivation and the good spirit when things are tough. Maybe a new driver's lineup will bring more positivity and things to look forward. I'm sure they'll be full of energy, both drivers, for the great opportunity they're both having. Hopefully that will help put Williams where they deserve to be and not where they are now. Kubica is making a long-awaited return to Formula One, after a rally car accident back in 2011 left him with severe injuries to his right hand. Next news: Bottas urged to match Hamilton to seal Mercedes' future. Valtteri Bottas will need to match the performances of Lewis Hamilton at a minimum next season if he is to stay put at Mercedes in 2020, according to team boss Toto Wolff. Bottas is under pressure to maintain his place at the Brackley-based outfit beyond 2019 after recording a lackluster 2018 campaign, where he failed to win a single race. Teammate Hamilton trounced the Finn by 161 points in the final drivers' standings in a year he clinched his fifth title, winning 11 races on his way to the crown in the 21-race calendar. Mercedes reserve driver for this year Esteban Ocon, who failed to secure a seat on the grid after being dropped by Racing Point F1, is tipped to be Bottas' likely successor should he underperform. Valtteri knows exactly where he needs to be next year, said Wolff as quoted by motorsport.com. He needs to have all the bad luck gone and perform on a level with Lewis. That is what is needed for the 2020 year. He knows very well that, and he has that in him. Lewis improving means Valtteri needs to improve. I've seen that improvement all the time with him, but you are going against a 5-time world champion. He needs a start where is right up there with Lewis and all the other drivers for the championship. That is what he needs. Bottas, who finished 4 places lower than Hamilton in the World Championship, is backed by Wolff to beat the Briton, believing all the 29-year-old needs is momentum and his results to take the fight to him this season. We are seeing the best Lewis that I've seen in the last 6 years, and there is a reason why he is a 5-time world champion, Wolff added. Beating a 5-time world champion at the peak of his activity, peak of his performance, is going to be very difficult and Valtteri knows that. But I think that he has it in him. I think that he can win. He has proven it this year on a few occasions, but he had bad luck or was in a position where he could not win. I think if that turns into a positive momentum that is actually driving for the championship, I think that Valtteri can win the championship. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.